You think it's your diet, your genes, or maybe even your luck. But what if the real reason most people don't make it past 80 is something they do every single day without even noticing? I didn't realize it either, not when I was 40, not even when I was 70. Back then, I thought I was doing everything right. Ate decent food, walked when I could, kept to myself, didn't cause trouble. But slowly, quietly, something else was eating away at me, and I'm not talking about disease. I'm talking about the habit of holding on to anger, to regrets, to things people said years ago, to mistakes you wish you could erase, to the version of life that didn't happen. That's the one thing you must stop doing if you want to survive, not just exist, but truly survive past 80. Let me tell you something strange. I've outlived friends who were stronger than me, richer than me, even healthier than me. Some of them had better doctors, better diets, better everything, but they carried something heavy inside them, and it showed. You can't see it on an X-ray. No blood test will catch it, but it wears you down slowly, like water dripping on stone. It's the habit of replaying pain. You wake up in the morning, and before your feet even touch the ground, your mind goes back to that argument, that betrayal, that missed opportunity. You relive it. You tighten up inside. Your body reacts like it's happening all over again. Now imagine doing that every day for 20, 30, 40 years. Of course your body breaks down. Of course your heart struggles. Of course your energy fades, because you're not just living in the present. You're dragging the past behind you like a chain. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I couldn't forgive my own brother. We stopped talking over something so small I can barely even remember it clearly now. But at the time, it felt huge, important, worth losing a relationship over. Years went by, pride grew thicker, silence became normal, and then one day he was gone. Just like that. No warning, no chance to fix it. No final conversation. You know what stayed with me? Not what he said, not what I said, just the weight of not letting it go when I had the chance. That kind of weight doesn't sit in your mind. It sits in your body. People don't talk about this enough. They'll tell you to eat better, sleep more, take your vitamins. And yes, those things matter, but they ignore the poison that comes from inside. Stress that never leaves, resentment that keeps burning, guilt that quietly eats at you. You think you're just thinking, but your body thinks you're under attack. Your heart beats faster, your muscles tense, your breathing changes. Over time, this becomes your normal state, and that's when the damage begins. I've met people in their 60s who already look exhausted with life. Not because life was harder for them, but because they never learned how to release it. Then I've seen people in their 90s who laugh like children, not because nothing bad happened to them, but because they stopped holding on to it. That's the difference. It's not about what happens to you, it's about what you keep. Let me ask you something honestly. How many things are you carrying right now that don't belong in today? Think about it. An argument from years ago, a mistake you made, something someone said that hurt you, a moment you wish you could redo. Why is it still here? You can't change it. You can't undo it. All you can do is keep reliving it or let it go. And most people choose to keep it, not because they want to suffer, but because they think holding on gives them control. Like if they keep thinking about it, they'll somehow fix it or make sense of it. But all it does is keep the wound open. I used to think letting go meant losing, like I was admitting defeat, like I was saying it didn't matter. But that's not what it is at all. Letting go is saying it mattered, but it's not worth my life. Because that's what it costs you, your peace, your energy, your years. And here's the part that might surprise you. The body listens to your thoughts more than you realize. You think a stressful thought, your body reacts instantly. You think an angry thought, your body tightens. You think a fearful thought, your body prepares for danger. Now imagine repeating those thoughts every day. You're training your body to stay in survival mode, and a body that never relaxes eventually breaks. That's why the one thing you must stop doing isn't eating sugar or skipping exercise or even losing sleep. It's holding on to what's already over, because the past doesn't need your energy. Only your present does. I'm not saying it's easy. Some things cut deep. Some memories don't fade on their own. Some people hurt you in ways that feel unforgivable. But here's the truth no one likes to hear. You're not holding on to them anymore. You're holding on to the pain. And the longer you hold it, the more it becomes part of you. It shapes how you think, how you react, how you see the world. You become more guarded, more tired, less open to joy. And slowly, life starts to feel heavier than it should. I remember a man I met when I was around 85. He was younger than me, maybe in his early 70s, but he looked worn out. We talked for a while, and he told me his story. Lost his business years ago, trusted the wrong people, felt betrayed, and he never let it go. Every sentence he spoke somehow circled back to that moment, like his entire life froze there. I asked him something simple. I said, "How many years ago was that?" He said, "About 25. 25 years. Imagine carrying the same pain every single day for 25 years. That's not memory anymore. That's a lifestyle." And it was costing him everything. Then I met a woman who was 96. She had lost her husband, her siblings, even one of her children. A life full of loss. But when she spoke, there was lightness in her voice. She said something I never forgot. "I don't keep what I can't carry." That's it. That's the secret. You don't have to carry everything life gives you. Some things are meant to pass through you, not stay inside you. But most people don't know how to let things pass. They collect them instead. They build a life filled with emotional clutter. And just like a house filled with junk, eventually there's no space left to breathe. So how do you stop? You start small. Next time your mind goes back to something painful, don't fight it. Don't push it away. Just notice it. See it for what it is. A memory, not a current reality. Then gently bring yourself back. Back to where you are. Back to what's in front of you. Back to what's real right now. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Because every time you do that, you break the habit. You stop feeding the past with your present energy. Another thing, learn to forgive, but not in the way people usually say it. Forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's about deciding you're not going to keep hurting because of it. It's a decision, not a feeling. You may still feel angry. You may still feel sad. That's fine. But you choose not to live there anymore. And over time, something shifts. The weight gets lighter. Your body relaxes more. You start noticing things again, the way the air feels, the sound of laughter, the simple moments that used to pass you by. Life doesn't become perfect, but it becomes livable again. And that's what keeps you going. Not perfection, not control, just the ability to be here without being dragged somewhere else. If you want to make it past 80, past 90, maybe even further like I did, don't just take care of your body. Take care of what you allow to stay inside you. Because time doesn't just age your body. It reveals what you've been carrying. And if you've been carrying too much for too long, it shows. So ask yourself honestly, what are you still holding on to? And more importantly, is it worth the years it's taking from you? Because at some point you realize something very simple, very real. You don't run out of time all at once. You run out of it slowly. Every day you spend living somewhere other than the present. And the moment you stop holding on is the moment you start living again.